I think this is going to be much better. All right, check me out on my good side. I flatter myself that this is my good side. You guys be the judge. I like the orientation of the iPad now. I don't like that I have to hold it all the time. So that's kind of an issue, but I think that we've got something we can work with here. Hello, Celeste. So what I've got for you guys today is I've got Trish Leto, who when she comes on, I'll invite her on. You know the drill there. And she's going to teach you guys how to create content, a month's worth of content in a few days. What could be better for busy content creators on the go, such as yourselves, such as me? I want to learn this stuff too. I guess the big secret is, the reason that I invited her on here is so that we could all learn together. My content game is pretty good. It's getting better, but I would like it to be much, much better. Who wouldn't, right? So as soon as I see that Trish is on, we will start. Let me check my phone here for messages from Miss Trish. So a couple of minutes until she'll be here, she says. In the meantime, how's everybody's content game going? Do you have that experience where you sit down in front of the computer to create a piece of content and you draw a blank? Does that sound familiar? You just, it's like the Men in Black movie where Will Smith has that little thing that shines the light and nobody remembers anything. So I don't know about you guys, but for me, I think I'm being pretty crystal clear here, Celeste, about what I mean. What I mean is, how easy is it for you to create content when you sit down to do it? For me, I'll have great ideas, and if I don't jot them down ahead of time or somewhere else, it makes creating content on the fly very difficult. And when I say creating content, by the way, I don't just mean, posts that say the equivalent of, so how's everybody doing today? Or this just happened to me. Like meaningful content that has strategic value to it. It positions you. It drives people to learn more about you. And ultimately, it gets you clients. That's the kind of content I'm talking about. So I'm not talking about throwaway statements on Facebook. That's fairly easy. Although, if I'm being honest, sometimes I sit down and I can't even think of those if I'm being truthful about the whole thing. So how many of you guys know what I'm talking about? How many of you would like to create content that functions as marketing for you, that functions as an awareness tool for you, that builds your brand and creates know, like, and trust? That's the kind of content I'm talking about. So Celeste says, well, I'm just finishing up my book on IPR. That's really not what I'm talking about, Celeste. I'm talking about content on social media. I guess I thought that was clear. Writing a book, of course, is content, but it's not the same thing as sitting down in front of social media, trying to do the work I'm describing, and then not being able to do it because you draw a blank. So Cindy Mattingly Turnbaugh says, sounds great, here to learn. Love it. Excited to have you aboard, Cindy. And again, Trish Leto will be joining us any moment now. But in the meantime, Cindy, since you're there, let me ask you, what's your biggest struggle with creating the kind of content I'm describing? Go ahead and just type it in the chat there. Celeste says, I just wanted to share it with you. It's great. Don't get me wrong. It's great. It just was a little bit of a non sequitur to what I was talking about. I love that you're creating your book. Those are, of course, powerful positioning pieces as well. And it's just important to do if you're an expert. It's a nice accomplishment. So I'm glad to hear that. So Cindy, what about you? How is your content creation game? Are you playing in the majors? Are you playing in AAA? Are you playing in the minors? Where are you at with it? Macon, Hello, Megan. Who else do we have? Let's see if it'll tell me. Oddly, it won't tell me who we have. Now, the only problem I'm having with this system for the iPad, hello, Megan, nice to see you, is that I keep wobbling it. So I don't like wobbling it. I'd like it to be held very still and actually look professional. Macon, how's your content creation game? I notice a lot of times when you do your live streams on the imposter syndrome and the inner dialogue, especially when you do them in your native language, you get a lot of interaction and engagement. So I'd say for you, it's pretty good. Am I right about that? Do you feel like you could step it up? Tell us a little bit about how that's going for you. Okay, that's enough silence. Let's see. I know what I could try to do. Can you guys hear me just fine if I take the headphones out like I just did? Is that still working for everyone? Because if that works, then I can just sort of sit here like the wise old man that I am and not have to wobble the camera so much. Ah, Macon, yes, sure I could step it up, but how? What do you mean? Well, that's what we're here to learn today. What I mean is more content, better content, content that has a broader reach, content that does more to position you, that kind of thing. And in your case, I would say your content positions you very well, as far as I can tell. As far as I can tell, that's not a big challenge for you. Cindy, thank you for letting me know that you can hear me just fine. Very much appreciate it. And of course, I appreciate the little emojis that someone just blasted across the screen for me. It's always nice to feel loved, guys. Always nice to feel loved and appreciated. Okay, so I've sort of jimmy-rigged a little bit of a system here that seems to be working pretty good. And here we are. Let me just check one more time on Trish Leto. How close are you? You guys are getting behind the scenes, and I know it's not sexy, but nevertheless, here we are. So Macon is working to include more storytelling as she naturally focuses on tools and techniques. Macon, we should probably talk about the storytelling stuff. We should probably talk about that. Cindy says, how do I come up with content? Ah, here's Trish. Trish Leto wants to be in my video. Bring Trish on camera. We're adding Trish now, guys. It's happening. I can see the little thing telling me that it's being added. This is very exciting.
Manny,
Trish,
what's up?
what's happening, girl?
All right, I want to see if I can do this. Oh, no, it won't do it. Oh, I see, because you probably got your phone. You have your, are you on your computer?
I'm on my iPad.
Oh, so you've got your iPad and you have it going up like vertically, right?
I've got the vertical orientation.
Cool. What's up?
So that the camera isn't off to one side, making it look like I'm always distracted.
I like it. I like it. What's happening, my friend?
Oh, so much. All kinds of cool stuff. Probably the culmination of which is you here now. It's so exciting that Ben is even on. Ben, welcome.
What? What's up, Ben Perry? Ben Perry is my brother from another mother. Let me just tell you, I love that guy. Ben is awesome. So we are here today to answer questions such as, how do you come up with content? And other related questions, because you're kind of, you've kind of become the live stream queen. And what's interesting about that to me is your focus has shifted a little bit, but you keep the live stream steady. And it seems like, and there's a lesson here for the kids at home, it seems like people didn't have any problem at all with you shifting your focus because they knew you. I mean, is that how you'd characterize that?
I think that's fair enough. I think that the most important thing to keep in mind is that live streaming is the vehicle with which I present my content.
Yeah, yeah.
And
so,
I think that too many people get the whole, oh, well, you're the person that does a live streaming thing, but all I'm doing is just presenting my content via live stream, right? So
yeah.
So how do you make the content enticing for people and make them want more? So if it's okay with you, Manny, I'm going to do it a little bit of name dropping from some of my fellow influencers in the world out there. So I've got some mentors, right? This is what I do. So okay, fair enough. So that's a great question, and I want to answer it as, first of all, 100% transparent. A lot of what I've learned has come from people who have done the thing for a long time before I came into any of this, right?
Yeah.
So one of the best people that I follow that do this is Tori Reed. Tori Reed, I got into her content mastery free group, and then I actually got into her course, but she does this really cool thing called the ask and deliver method. And it's pretty simple. You just go out there and start talking about a thing that's of interest to you. You listen to what your audience tells you is their pain point, what they're talking about, right? Because that's what we do every day on social media anyway. We're scrolling through our news feed, we're posting things. Some of us are intentional about it, some of us not so much. I'm very intentional with what I post.
Yeah.
And I just listen to what people are telling me, right? So I read between the lines, I listen, and I also do market research. I do my own market research. I go to YouTube and I look up influencers who are also doing the thing that I'm doing. And I see, do they have a large following? Do they have a bunch of people who like their stuff? Do they have a bunch of people who follow their stuff, who interact with them? And if they're interacting, more than likely, they're asking more questions, or they're giving some kind of a follow-up and saying, hey, this was a great video. I loved where you said XYZ, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that tells me, cool, I know now that that's something that's important to my audience. Yeah. And then I'll put something out there and say, hey, if I talked about this thing and answered these questions for you in a blog or via a Facebook Live, would that be of value to you? And they'll tell me yes or no. And then I'll do a Facebook Live and talk about it. And then people pop on. I mean, that, like, you just have to ask people. That's literally like the bottom line. Ask the question, formulate the information, make sure you do enough research that it's, you know, something that people can sink their teeth into, and then do a live video and talk about it, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Perfect. So I want to do a couple of things here. I want to first assure you and assure myself that I'm gonna, even though we're getting great questions, I'm gonna keep us somewhat on track with the content calendar piece, because I know that these things get very interactive and they can go into all kinds of directions. But sometimes in the past, what has happened is I feel like I could have gotten deeper on the promised goodies. You know what I mean? And so I'm going to do that. But tell me in your words, tell them in your words, you know, how important is it to kind of pay attention and take your content creation seriously? The reason I asked that, Trish, is because you just talked about, I'll go to YouTube and I'll research people doing the same thing as me. I'll find questions that got them good engagement. That's deeper than I think a lot of people are taking it, which is great, which is wonderful, and I want to reinforce that for the people on this call and who will see it in perpetuity, hopefully, because I think that largely we have a tendency to just sort of sit down and fly by the seat of our pants. Right?
Yep.
So what I love about what you're saying is that's exactly not what you do.
No, I don't do that. I'm extremely intentional. Extremely intentional.
Yeah.
So, okay, I'm gonna answer your question. I'm gonna dive in. I'm gonna talk about that content creation calendar and what exactly I'm doing. But if it's okay with you, I kind of want to tell people my backstory, because that actually explains where the calendar came from.
Okay, perfect.
So back in the day, before Facebook Live was really popular, when that live button first appeared, it was a little over 3 years ago, and I was doing multi-level marketing for a very well-known health and fitness product line, supplement line. Okay. I mean, I was jumping on the wagon with everybody else. I was doing this thing, working out every day. And so what happened was, there's a story within that story too, but what I'll tell you is I was finding every day that I was going, I'd wake up and go, you don't care if I curse, do you?
No, God, no.
Okay.
Trish.
All right, cool. Listen, I'm a sailor, man. Like, this is what I do.
I love it.
So I would wake up every morning and literally go, shit, what am I gonna post about today? Like, what am I gonna post about today? Like, every day I'm like, oh man, I gotta freaking come up with this. I gotta come up with that. What am I gonna talk about today? What am I gonna talk about today? And like, I knew the pain points. I really did. You know, I knew the market research is really truly so easy for health and fitness industry. Like, unless you're completely ignorant and oblivious, it's literally slapping you right in the friggin' face everywhere you turn. Everywhere you turn, right? So knowing what the pain points were wasn't a problem for me. It was just like, okay, I gotta mix this shit up. What am I gonna post about today, right?
Yeah.
So then I was just like, wait a second. I don't have to come up with this shit organically every single freaking day when I wake up. Like, I could very well put together, like, I got an Excel spreadsheet, like Excel's right there. So what I did was I opened, shit you not, it's a true fucking story. I opened up my Excel spreadsheet and I start going, okay, I want to make posts for every day of the month. There are 4 weeks in an average month, and all 4 weeks have 7 days. So I opened up my Excel spreadsheet and I said, this is it. And I color coded Monday, and I went Monday, Tuesday, all the way through Sunday. Right. And I color coded it. And I kind of started doing a little bit of like some acronyms for myself, some like word association, you know, mindset Monday, tip Tuesday, workout Wednesday, whatever. Thirsty Thursday, let's drink some water and be hydrated. But I would mix it up. Right. And so I put this calendar together and I'm like, this is freaking awesome. And this is right around the time that Hootsuite came out. So I was like, oh shit, not only is this awesome, but I can turn this into a CSV file and I can upload it into Hootsuite. And so now I'm scheduling my posts. Now I know exactly what I'm going to talk about every day. If I want to talk initially, like additionally on top of that, if I want to do another post, but I had at least one post every day for Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, or I wasn't on LinkedIn, but Facebook and Instagram primarily. And Facebook and Instagram. So I was like, cool, like this is awesome. And the cool thing was that it was like a set it and forget it. I like opened it up and I'm like, okay, cool. And so I was like, I knew what I was going to talk about. I was like, how to make your shake taste better, how to make chalk taste delicious. Because that's literally what it tasted like, right? So I was doing crap like that, or like my workout of the day, or, you know, hey, I've got lower back pain problems. Here's what I do to modify. I mean, like, you name it, I was talking about everything, right?
Yeah.
And it just turned into a thing. And then I had people reaching out to me and going, how the hell do you schedule your posts every day? How do you come up with the different stuff every day? And I'm like, wait a minute, this is a thing? So long story short, I had a really shitty month. It was my worst month ever with this company, and I discontinued doing that. And I decided that I was going to basically take this and start like teaching people how to do market research, how to do it right, how to present their products right, because MLM gets such a bad rap in this industry. It's awful. Yeah. And it's because they're not taught. They're not taught how to market, you know, efficiently. And I will tell you that every time I was doing this and I'd have like a mini course that I was putting out, more and more people are telling me, holy crap, that content creation calendar alone is a game changer. Like, this is cutting out so much time out of my week, out of my month. And I'm going, oh shit. Okay.
So can I hit pause right there?
Yes, go.
Because this is gold. So I'm going to talk to them now, not you, for a second. Okay, so guys, pay attention. I'm going to recap for Trish. And then if you're serious, if you're a go-getter, if you're a 1%er, you'll actually pause this and you'll do some form of this. Seriously, here's what she said that you can take and you can action it. You can use this right now. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this is for you right now. You're at the show. Pay attention. Whether it be a Google spreadsheet, lined piece of paper, you can do it in feces on the wall if you're insane. I don't recommend that, but you get the point. Don't let anything stop you from this. No excuses. Mm-hmm. Break it out. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, whatever it is. Do a 30-day grid, a 28-day grid. Like, it really doesn't matter. Just get it into a grid. I'd say of at least 4 weeks, right?
Yeah, it's 4 weeks. It's 4 weeks because the average month has 4 weeks in it.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm saying you could go further, but at minimum of 4, because the promise here is that you're going to be able to sit down in 90 minutes or less, and you're going to have 30 days worth of content.
Oh, less than that, buddy.
Yeah. But I want to under promise and over deliver.
Okay. No, I like it.
Okay.
Well,
good.
The reason why I shoot for the full month is because there's always a month, right?
Yeah.
So there's right, and you can duplicate it over and over and over again, and then just go back and edit it. And you can make it for each platform, because some people like to change how they present their stuff on LinkedIn versus Instagram versus Facebook.
Yeah. So all of those things are next. First thing you do in your topic, if you can think of one meaningful thing to say about your topic that speaks to your clients for each day of the week, put it in there. Make a list of those 7. Slightly modify, tweak, or change, and put it in the next 7. Here's the thing that we have to remember as content creators who are creatives, where, it brings out the emotional side of a lot of us and things like that, is people aren't tuned into your content the way you are. Mm-hmm. So if you do a variation on a theme 7 days later, no one's going to go, you last Monday you did. So but we think like that when we're in the creative process. We think like, oh God, it's got to be different, fresh, new, unique. Not really. You should only be talking about 3, 5, 7, 9 points of your specialty anyway, really. So that's it right there. Make a grid, make a spreadsheet, whatever you want, and go Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. One meaningful thing to say, and for bonus points, phrase it interactively. Phrase it in a way that makes people want to comment. Make it into questions. Make it a how do you feel? Things like that. When we get Ben Perry on here, Ben, you scallywag, we tried to do the get with Ben, I think it was last week. And he was up on a mountaintop or something.
He's just trying to get better reception. Don't let him fool you.
He's got a tinfoil hat on. He's standing on one leg with a big rod in his hand. Anyway, it didn't really work out that well. But we're going to get him on here. And Ben's specialty, for you guys listening and paying attention, is he's the guy who just gets into the psychology of engagement. It's going to be so juicy. He's
a nerd.
He's a nerd.
Such a nerd. I love Ben.
And he's a great nerd. So anyway, okay, unpause, moving forward. Baiju, hello, buddy. Didn't have a chance to say hi. Back to you, Mrs. Leto.
So, really and truly, so I've got an acronym for people who want to write it down, and I highly suggest that they do write it down, because the acronym stands for how you can fill that calendar up for 30 full days, and we'll say it your way, in 90 minutes or less. Okay.
A lot less.
I can do it a lot faster than that. Okay.
Yeah.
Because here's before I tell you the acronym, I'm going to tell you, here's the reason why you can do this. Because all you need to have are a few keywords. Now, for those of you who are bloggers and you're like, you want to go freaking the extra mile, cool, there's that 90 minutes, right? Yeah. Write your long, exasperated post, whatever. God bless you. If you're great at it, fucking do it. Have fun, right?
Yeah.
But for me, I can just put in a couple of keywords and just be like, okay, this is what I'm going to post about today. Just keywords. Yeah. That's it, right? Keywords, trigger words, pain points, whatever. This is what I'm going to talk about today. So what I do in order to fill that calendar up, keeping that in mind, you're just gonna grab some common language, some keywords, and just fill up your calendar. Okay. So the acronym is Pigly, Piggly. Okay. And Pigly stands for, I just did a live about this the other night. Okay. Pigly stands for Pinterest in general. Like, go on Pinterest and start looking up your niches, like main stuff, and just start grabbing some of the most common repinned stuff. Like people who are saving that thing and repinning it like crazy, getting a bunch of comments on it. They're already telling you that's the shit they dig. Don't reinvent the freaking wheel. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Okay. The I is for interaction. That means if you are messing around your Facebook newsfeed, you're in groups and communities on Facebook, you're looking at ads and you're commenting on ads. What is about that ad that's got 50 plus comments on it? What are people saying? Are they tagging their friends? If they are, go into the actual ad copy and see what's great about that ad. Right? Pull some common language and keep going. Okay. If you're in a group and you're going through, then start grabbing like, you know, what people are talking about. Okay. So that's interaction is I. The first G is for Google. All right. Go Google keywords. What are the most, like, what are the top links that you're seeing? Click on those links, grab a couple. Don't spend too much time doing this. I swear to God, just go Google it and find out what people are saying, right? The second G is, again, for groups. It's so you're coming off of your news feed, you're going into groups and you're interacting in groups. Ask some questions, get some feedback. Go take a look and scroll through groups and get a ton of interaction on stuff. Go do a keyword search in the groups. Find out what people are saying about Instagram if you're an Instagram expert. And then just keep freaking going. The L is for LinkedIn. Same thing. People who hang out on LinkedIn are sharing some of the best of their content, okay? Great content is what gets shared on LinkedIn for the most part, right? It's a little bit more like people call it Facebook in a suit, whatever, okay? And then obviously the Y, not so obviously, whatever. It could be for Yelp, but it's actually for YouTube, right? So go look up common words on Google and then hit videos and see what people are, what are the top influencers talking about on their YouTube channels. And for people who say, oh, that's just regurgitated content, no, it's not. And quite frankly, so's the Bible, right? Like every single day it's regurgitated content. We're all learning from somebody. So our version of that content could be something that one person is going to gravitate more towards than somebody else.
Right. Let me just add something here. It's super important to understand when you get into that little bear trap. Oh, it's just regurgitated content. I like what you said there, because first of all, you said, no, it isn't, which means shut up. And second of all, you said, okay, maybe it is, but so what? Shut up. So I love that. Here's what you guys have to understand, because some percentage of you will get to that place and your head will go, oh my God, it's regurgitated. That's being in your head. That's not being in action. Let me tell you something, a quick little story about when I first struck out in construction. I was working for other people and it was time to go out on my own. And I'm looking around my city and I'm seeing all these beautiful branded, clean fleet vans of different large painting, house painting and just, you know, industrial painting, and et cetera. And I'm thinking to myself exactly this: how the hell can I get a foothold in this? Everybody's doing it so much better than me already. Here's what is just never fails. Someone wants your take on things. Someone wants your take on things. I came into training public speakers. Guess what? It's a pretty busy market. You know, it's not like, hey, I got an idea. I'll train speakers and no one else has done it. So, but do I get people that come to me and say, I love what you do the best. I love how you do it the best. Yeah, absolutely, all the time. So dismiss that thought as soon as it pops up. Guys, don't let that get in the way. You cannot not put your own unique stamp on your content. It's impossible. It will be you, so don't worry about that. Back to you, Trish.
And not only that, but some people, like, I'm going to say this and just say it. I'll look something up technically, so like a technical thing. I'll look it up on YouTube. And I'll tell you right now, there's like a handful of different guys who are in different areas of the world, and I'll click on their video. And while the visual is fine, I can't understand a freaking word they're saying. Okay. So that might prompt me to go, hey, I bet you there's some people out there who would feel the same way I do. If I
Yeah.
could only understand this person better, so then I'll make a video teaching the same thing, because now I've learned that skill. I can walk people through it. I'll record myself on my phone walking people through a thing, and then I'll put it onto YouTube. Then I'll go to Facebook and Instagram and go, hey, want to see a video of how to do this thing from somebody who you can actually understand? Click the link below.
Yeah.
And it's funny, like, I throw a little twist of humor on there, but I'm telling you guys, like, listen, this is what I tell people about doing Facebook Lives. For every day you're not doing Facebook Live, somebody else is, and they're getting business because of it.
Yeah.
Like, they're getting your business, right? And so, again, like we talked about early on, you said, no, you're the Facebook Live queen, and now you're doing a different thing where you're trying to do content creation. Again, Facebook Live is just the vehicle that I use to present my content, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. So, and then not only that, but now I've got something to regurgitate. I can repurpose it like crazy. I download it, some bitch, put it on YouTube, put clips on my Instagram stories, put it onto LinkedIn. I mean, it doesn't matter. So yeah, like, again, oh my gosh, just keep doing whatever you're doing, guys. Like, don't give up the fight, seriously, because my content gets me speaking gigs. I have people reach out to me and say, we want you to be our expert speaker at this thing. And I'm not trained to speak. I just show up and go, yeah, this is what I'm doing.
Yeah, totally.
You can do it too.
That's right. So a lot of, from one perspective, a lot of what you've got going on is you're just charging forward boldly. I mean, you're being smart about it too, but the psychological side of it is that you're charging forward boldly, right? Where a lot of us get caught up in these what amount to stories, in our heads that stop us from sort of transferring it to the real world. You're just transferring it to the real world.
Well, trust me, I went through a really rough patch. I really did. This has been 2 years worth of consistently showing up. And don't get me wrong, man, I went through the imposter syndrome. There's still days that I do have it.
Sure.
But I have my street team, man. I've got my circle of peeps that I know who to reach out to and say, I'm in a funk. My life is shitty. What do I do? And they're like, you're amazing. Keep going.
Yeah.
It happens. It's going to happen. You just, how you come out of that funk and that's just it. And I have no problem admitting that. And I think that that's why people, dig me, because I'm not full of shit. I don't overly promise anything. I don't.
Yeah.
Like, you got to take action. None of this shit's going to happen, just by, I'm sorry, but manifesting alone doesn't get the job done.
That's funny. I've been talking about that a lot lately. Yeah. I couldn't agree more. Manifesting is like a car without tires if you don't attach action to it. So,
yeah.
Yeah. Do you have anything more you'd like to share on the content calendar? Because that was it went by quick, but it was gold. And
I appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah. First of all, thank you for saying that. I appreciate that. It's a huge compliment coming from you. And the only thing that I'll really say about it is if you do your calendar and you if you post something and you find that you do get a bunch of engagement on it, I highly recommend 2 things. Thing number 1 is keep it into your Google Drive. If you have a Gmail account, if you don't, just go create one, because that way, if you put it together on your laptop, then you can go grab that on your phone easily, right? And just grab it and post it. Like, if you're out and about and you forgot to post it, you have it in your phone. Yeah. And the other thing is, if you do have a post that gets really good interaction, you get some really good feedback on it or whatever, or you put an offer out there and the offer does really well, then give that freaking highlight it. Give yourself some green on it to tell you that, hey, this is a go. This is a good post. And then you can repost it the next month.
Yeah.
Or 2 months later, whatever you want to do. If you get lousy engagement on it, or 0, if it gets, ghosts, then highlight it red. And now this is shitty content. I probably shouldn't do it again.
Or just don't put it in Google Drive to begin with.
Right? Or if you do it, and you get decent engagement, then, put, highlight it in orange. So you're like, okay, it's just something that I have to, and I'm using stoplight colors, but whatever. But it's, color code it however the hell you want to. And then, also per platform, if it does really well on Facebook, okay, you're going to put this on Facebook again. If you get crickets on LinkedIn, then, switch it up and do something different on LinkedIn. So the bottom line is this: use it as your own. This is your own tool and resource, right? This is for you. It's for you to. You're putting it in there. You're doing it quickly as you can, right? Don't spend too much time doing this. Again, unless you're writing like really long posts, but present it to your audience, get their feedback. But don't just post it to post it. Like, be intentional and listen to what people have to tell you that they want, and then put it out there.
Yeah, I love it. So, first thing is really, if you want to position yourself using organic means, take your content seriously. Mm-hmm. And I think that that's a starting point that I don't think a lot of people understand. I just don't. I mean, I look at content all day, like I'm sure you do, and most of us do. Based on the content I see, maybe 10% or less is actually trying to be sort of intentional with it. And of that 10% or less, maybe 3% of them are really nailing it. So it's a very small pool. And every time I talk to someone who's really nailing it, they're saying things similar to you. None of them just sit down and fly off from the seat of their pants. So guys, this is the first thing. Understand that your organic free content that only costs you time and creativity can lead you to sales. Let's be very clear about that. If you're in my world, you're almost assuredly a coach of some sort, an expert of some sort, someone who needs sales, right? And this can and does work, but you've got to start with rethinking what content is for you. Then when you have gotten that part and you're ready to commit and take it seriously, and go back and do these things like research thought leaders who are in the same field as you, pay attention to these things, then Trish has given you a great way to just knock out. Okay, I'll tell you what she says. She says 90 days of content in 30 minutes. I inverted it because I'm a cheeky fucker, but I also wanted to underpromise and overdeliver. But if you do the simple spreadsheet thing she just talked about, you're good. The next thing is you've got to get your ego and your voice out of the way, because there's nothing wrong with repeating yourself. I just wouldn't do it verbatim. Just rephrase, tweak, variations on a theme. But you can, I was once told, if you're an expert in training coaches to speak and make money at it, there's only 3 to 5 things you should be talking about anyway. Mm-hmm. Your first, second, and third value position, or whatever you want to call it. So let's don't overcomplicate this, right? Let's don't bring in a high-powered diamond drill where a hacksaw will do the job. We don't need to. It's okay to vary your themes and just repeat the same stuff a little bit. So, and then the next thing I think that's really important in an effort to recap what you're saying, Trish, I just totally lost my train of thought. How do you like that?
It's okay. It's okay. No, it's so something again. Celeste made another comment, and I want to say that she said, "Good to know that it's not an issue to repeat the topics." Here's the thing. Here's the thing. There's no rules. There's no rules here.
Right. That's great.
Seriously.
Yeah.
And even if you do repeat the topic, you can just switch up how you like. I can say the same you and I can say the very same thing.
Yeah.
Talk about the very same thing. In fact, do it on the same stage. You go first, I go behind you. You're going to make different sales than I make.
Yeah.
That's just human nature. People are going to resonate with you in a different way. Equally so, I can go live on Monday and talk about keto living and get different people who are attracted to that there than going live on Friday about keto living, right?
Yeah.
It's
totally.
It doesn't matter. There's no rules. Well, Trish, for someone who works with legislation, that is a bit funny. Yeah, well, somebody who was in the Navy for 4 years, it's even funnier for me to say it out loud. There's no rules.
Let me just address what I think is the spirit of that most recent comment by Celeste as well. I'm not sure why that's funny. I don't know if that means it would be harder for you because of your topic, Celeste. But in case that's what you mean, let me just say, as an example, one day could be an informative post where you're positioning yourself very much as the expert. You say maybe you're teaching 3 things that everybody needs to know about your topic. The next day could be the same topic but done as a rant. The next day could be the same topic again, reduced to a pithy, catchy question. Right? That's what we're talking about here, you guys. In case you're not clear about it, you can take the same exact sort of piece of truth and talk about it many, many different ways. And each way will look new to everyone else because they're not you. They're not judging you like you judge yourself.
Listen, we're doing better media coverage than the media is right now. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
yeah.
Are you kidding me? Social media influencers. I don't even really consider myself to be an influencer. I consider myself to be a person of influence because I don't have a 1 million person following. I don't do that BS lifestyle crap. But if I am someone who's influential to you and I'm helping you in any way, shape, or form with your life, with your business, with inspiring you or motivating you, then freaking rock on, yay me, go me. All right?
Yeah.
But
well,
Celeste, if you're in the legislation piece, oh my God, you know how many people I see that have no room to talk about politics, go on Twitter, find a bunch of different tweets, and then put a post on Facebook with their take on it and ask for people to give their feedback? They get so much engagement from that. People are talking about this shit every single day. And all that is regurgitated content. So have at it, Celeste. And you and I are going to become Facebook friends because now I want to see what you're talking about.
So what else do we have to cover here? I mean, it's sort of an add-on, but I really like your formula for how to do.
I see what you're saying. Okay.
So I really like your formula for Facebook Lives. Will you share that with us?
Okay. So it's called the 5-minute lives guide because either you have people who go live for or don't want to go live at all. They're scared out of their mind to just do a live video, which whatever. My whole coaching on that is get over yourself.
Yeah, totally.
Like, get over yourself. There's 15-year-old girls curling their hair on YouTube every day and they get paid for it. Give me a freaking break, right?
Yeah.
So that there's my big coaching thing on that one. But then you've got people who don't want to go live, and then you've got people who go live for a friggin' hour and there's no call to action, there's no context to their content, there's nothing.
Yeah.
And it sucks, right? So I created this 5-minute lives guide that goes like this. You make sure, first of all, like have some bullet points written down. I'll just like go live. I did it earlier today. There you go. 3 bullet points, right? On a little sticky note. And I put it right down in front of me and I stay focused on it. I make sure that I go live. And what I do is the first 30 seconds, I cover my who, what, why, and how. So second I hit live, I don't wait for people to pop in because that's freaking lame. Nobody does that anymore. Second I go live, I say, hey guys, what's going on? What's happening in Facebook land? My name is Trish Leto. Today I'm going to talk about how you can be more productive in your life. The reason why I'm talking about it is because so many people tell me it takes them forever to come up with content. And if you want to get more of me, then you can go to my website, trishleto.com. Boom. Boom. Your who, what, why, and how. Who you are, what you're going to talk about, why you're talking about it, and how they can get more of you. That's it, right? And then, okay, cool, I'm going to dive into this. So first and foremost, blah, 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 blah. Number 2, blah, 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 blah. Number 3, blah, 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 blah. I also try to, interact with people as I'm going and say, hey, as you pop in, make sure you hit a #live, #replay. I ask for people to give me their geographical locations. If they ask a question and I'm in a pause moment, then I'll answer the question real time, whatever, just kind of interact with them. And then the next like 2 minutes, like I'm just talking about my content. I'm just going into it and just kind of talking about it. And then the last 30 seconds, I give a really strong call to action and say, hey, listen, I hope this was helpful to you. If you found value in this, hit value in the comments. Or if you think value is lame, give me a funny emoji. share it out, tag a friend. I don't care what you do. Just tell me, tell me that you're digging it. And if you want me to cover something different, tell me that topic below. I'll catch you guys on the flip side. Leto out, and then I close. I'm 5 minutes. 5 minutes in and out.
Super easy. Yeah, super easy. This is great for you guys if you're daunted by lives. And I'm in Trish's camp here, where now it's like, come on, get over yourself. It's 2018. I can see 2019 coming up. Not wanting to do a live stream is a little strange now, so just get on there, introduce yourself, and I would say what you're going to talk about. You like the who, what, why, where, how format, but basically something to let them know what you're going to talk about and why.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about it, be engaging, which comes with practice. Don't worry about that. It'll come naturally over time. And then have a call to action. Call to action is huge. This is, I would say, the two things that are the most sort of off-putting that people do, 3, is, okay, so I'm just going to wait for everyone to come on,
Oh my God, I used to do that.
Yeah,
And now
right?
I realize when people like watch your replay, it looks
Yeah.
so freaking stupid. I'm like,
Exactly.
okay, I really got to stop doing that.
So here's the thing. When somebody sees the replay, they see that. That's the first thing they see is you going like this. Right? So don't do that. Get in, start talking. Next is the engagement, which just comes with practice. It comes with getting comfortable. There's one way to get comfortable with things that I know of, which is to do them. There's really no other way. So just do them. Last thing is a call to action. There's something deep-seated in human nature where if we're giving you our energy and our attention for even the 5 minutes, it just feels good to have something that ends it. And a call to action ends it. It ends it nicely. And I too have had, people months later reach out to me because of a live stream. And it has been because of live streams that I thought were just complete non sequiturs to anything relevant to me sometimes. And then they're like, it turns out they went and cyber stalked me and have seen 40 of my live streams, been on YouTube, looked at my videos, and in some cases they're like, so how do I work with you? So
I literally had a guy who is a very influential international speaker reach out to me about a year ago now and said, because of your Facebook Lives, I want you to be my expert speaker at a Facebook thing that I'm doing. And I'm like, this is freaking awesome. And so the person that said, you don't have to identify yourself when you start a live video. Well, here's my answer to that, because I do want to address that. Why wouldn't I identify myself? Because now, like, if I just made a Facebook friend, they see that I'm Trish Leto, but I'd be like, hey guys, maybe they don't know how to say my name properly.
Yeah.
Right? You know how many times Dr. Rob Garcia has called me Leto? Hi everybody, this is Trish Leto.
Next time you gotta go, hi Rob. just start your Facebook Live and, hey, Robert Garcia.
Right. Right. Well, not only that is I can say, hey, what's going on? My name is Trish Leto. I am a content coach, and I just happen to be really damn good at helping people do Facebook Lives efficiently. Blah, 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 blah. And then, yeah. So it's just, there's nothing wrong with introducing yourself. Absolutely nothing wrong with that.
Right.
Manny, thank you very much for having me today. I really appreciate it. This has been fun.
Oh, it's been awesome. Thank you. I appreciate it too. I think we've got a ton of comments here, which certainly implies that everyone else appreciated it.
Yay.
So with that, I want to thank you so much, Trish. In this live stream, here's your call to action, biatches. Go back and listen and take notes on how to create the calendar and take notes on how to do your live stream. That's your call to action. If you want more of what Trish does or is about, she's in the group now. One of the double secret things that I do with my guest experts is I'm adding them all to the group.
That's awesome.
So just tag her in the group or go find her. There's no secret spelling to her first or last name. It's very straightforward.
Yes, it is. That's funny.
It is Leto, comma, Trish. Hard to screw that one up. But go find her. If you want more help, clarity, if you want to hire her, whatever, go find her. I know her to be a very open, easy to connect with person. So, like all of us who are, what did you say? Not influencers, but people of influence.
Yes, big difference.
She's very human,
Big difference.
human and within reach. And by the way, I'm not an interesting person, but I'm a person of interest.
I beg to differ, Manny. You're pretty damn interesting. You're good people, dude.
All right. Well, anyway, it's been a pleasure, Trish. Really, really nice talking to you. And thank you for such a completely generous sharing of your time and your wisdom.
Absolutely, sir. Thank you for inviting me to come join you and bring me into this group. I'm excited to learn from you and some of these other people because I am continuously learning and growing every single day. So thank you again. Have a wonderful evening. Bye, everybody, and feel free to message me. Peace out.